Did you know that in Germany, about 10 million people sometimes or often go without clothes? Germany, known for cool machines and deep thinkers, this is a pretty big number. It suggests there's more to it than just wanting to show off. When you see a naked body in certain public places, like a special park lawn on a sunny day, or a certain part of the Baltic Sea coast, people usually don't act shocked or angry. Instead, they just quietly accept it. This might seem strange to visitors from places where being unclothed is kept very private, something reserved for close friends or family, or something that makes people really nervous. But to understand this German thing, we need to gently look at what freedom means, what our bodies mean, and how people quietly push back against the stress of modern life. This situation makes us stop and think about what we believe. Why do we wear clothes so carefully? And what do we worry might happen if we took off our clothes, even for a little while? The German way of being nude, often called Freikörperkultur, isn't about everyone taking off their clothes. It suggests there might be a way to feel more comfortable in our own skin, literally, and in how we feel about ourselves. The German experience is a cool example, like a mirror showing us our own worries and our own hopes about the most basic thing we have, our bodies. What we're seeing isn't a society falling apart like a scared outsider might think. It's a culture that over time has made special safe places for a different way of living. These are places where the judgments and social ranks that clothes often show are put aside for a bit. Here, a bank boss, a student, a grandma, a young artist can lie on the same grass. Their social armor is gone, making them just human beings together. This practice isn't a messy free-for-all. It has quiet, unwritten rules. It's this calm order that allows for a surprising amount of peace and getting along. It teaches us about trusting each other, which is bigger than just talking about nudity. So we shouldn't judge too quickly. Instead, let's look at this topic with curiosity and an open mind, like we would a complex piece of art or a deep book. Germany's comfort with nudity goes back over 100 years to the late 1800s and early 1900s. This was a time when factories were growing fast. People felt disconnected from nature. A movement called life reform, or Lebensreform, started. It pushed ideas like eating vegetables, using natural medicines, getting back to nature. Within this movement, Freikörperkultur took hold. Followers saw clothes as a sign of fake modern life. They wanted the sun, air, water to touch the body, healthy for body and mind. They weren't trying to shock, they wanted a simpler, healthier life. Use for emphasis. The 1920s celebrated the naked body in public life. First official FKK spots popped up near cities like Hamburg, Berlin. Swim, exercise, relax, naked. The naked body was celebrated in art, dance, photos, as life and freedom. Then the Nazis came. Clubs were banned. Publications stopped. The practice went underground. The body was meant to be controlled, put in uniform. After the war, the wish for lost freedom stayed. West Germany, leisure clubs. East Germany, informal Baltic coast sunbathing. One of few private freedoms. Shared but different histories eased wider acceptance after reunification. At its heart, Freikörperkultur, or FKK, is a way of thinking based on a simple but deep idea that being without clothes in nature is a good, healthy, and freeing experience. It's really important to know that this practice is not about sex at all. For the people who do it, it's not about getting attention or making a big statement. Instead, it's about feeling comfortable and connecting more deeply with the world around them. Imagine the feeling of the sun warming your whole body, or the cool breeze on your skin with no clothes in the way. Naturists call it a simple pleasure that modern life wrapped in clothing and shyness has taken from us. The words body freedom might explain it better than public nudity. It changes the focus from being seen to feeling free. This freedom has a few parts. There's the physical freedom from clothes that squeeze you, the tight waistbands, the seams that dig in, the fake materials that trap heat and sweat. But there's also a mental freedom. In FKK places, the pressure to look a certain way or chase trends can disappear. So does the worry your body must be perfect. When everyone is unclothed, different shapes, sizes, and ages become normal. This can help people feel really good about their bodies.
When I am at the lake without my clothes, I am just Klaus. I am not a teacher, not a man with a certain amount of money. The labels fall away. I see others not by the clothes they wear, but as fellow human beings enjoying the sun. It is a great equalizer.
This feeling shows the hopeful spirit that drives the movement. The laws are nuanced, no single federal yes or no. Often framed as public nuisance or grobe Belästigung, being naked by itself is not a crime. It becomes an issue only if intended to bother, scare, or break public order. Local officials and police weigh place, time, and reactions. In marked FKK areas, it's perfectly fine. In a busy shopping street, expect police, usually resolved with a polite request to get dressed.
Our job is not to be the fashion police. A person quietly sunbathing is rarely a disturbance.
Customs. Don't stare, don't take pictures. Minding your own business enables freedom without chaos. Today, FKK appears in beaches, parks, and galleries, along Baltic and North Sea coasts, officially marked stretches of sand. In cities, marked park lawns, reading, chatting, napping, sometimes without clothes. Clubs and saunas normalize non-sexual nudity as part of health routines. The reasons people are drawn to naturism are quiet, personal, and deeply felt. For many, it's about health and feeling good. The simple pleasure of sun and air directly on skin. They say it improves body acceptance. In places where all bodies are seen, young, old, thin, big, fit, imperfect, the pressure from ads loosens its grip.
Anya might say, "At first I was nervous, but then I realized nobody was looking. Seeing real bodies made me feel better about my own."
Supporters see naturism as freedom and being real, pushing back on never-enough consumer culture. Artists return to the nude to explore what it means to be human. In art, nudity can feel open, powerful, innocent, or rebellious, stripping away masks to reveal core truths. Still, worries and critics remain. For many, public nudity is uncomfortable. Parents ask about children's exposure and safety. Some fear designated areas may attract bad intentions, despite the community's non-sexual aims. Cultural and personal boundaries differ widely. What's normal to one can be shocking to another. For many, nudity belongs in private, not public. The balance between individual freedom and everyone's comfort is delicate. The German way isn't perfect. It's an ongoing conversation between differing values. So, what can we learn from Germany's long and complex relationship with the nude body? The most important lesson isn't about right or wrong, but about building a society that handles differences with grace. The model shows you can allow practices that seem strange without society falling apart. Through designated areas, a flexible legal approach, and a strong, unwritten social agreement built on mutual respect. This model relies on trust. The conversation isn't just about nudity. It's about how we define public space and who gets to feel comfortable in it. The key is clear information and choice. Signs let people make informed decisions. They can go in, accepting the rules, or choose a different beach. Simple communication prevents surprises and reduces arguments. It respects the freedom of the naturist and the non-naturist who chooses not to participate. Clear boundaries and optionality can work elsewhere. The voices are varied and important. Listen to the naturist, listen to the parent, listen to the artist, listen to the police officer. A healthy society isn't one where everyone agrees, but one where everyone feels heard and respected. The goal isn't uniform opinion, but thoughtful living together. In the end, Germany's nude art truth is a quiet call for a more grown-up, less anxious discussion. We can be free without being threatening, and have rules without being too strict. It invites us to reconsider deep taboos and practice more acceptance. The debate will continue, but with curiosity and a wish to learn. Body freedom, at its best, is simply another way we try to live together well. Germany reminds us, with clarity, consent, and care, even the most sensitive topics can find their place.